Welcome back to the third edition of Everyday Gourmet with Chef K Moody. Today we're going to be going back into my kitchen there, and we're going to be doing a American staple. Everybody likes bacon and eggs for breakfast in the morning, or most people do, but the thing is that a lot of people don't take the time to invest in it and to do it the right way. What I really want you to notice today is we're going to make what's called 5-star eggs, which is something that was taught to me by a chef at 5-Star Senior Living, Brad Miller. But then we're also going to do a kicked up version of bacon. Now I know you might just say bacon is bacon, but it's really not. If you take the time to do it right, it comes out really, really well. So I want you to sit back and enjoy, and we're going to have a good time making this today. We're going to start with the bacon. This bacon, as you can see, has been soaking overnight in apple juice in the refrigerator. That's the first step that we're going to want to do. We're going to want to put it on a grill that I've already got going. Now I'm using thick cut applewood smoked bacon. And you get a little extra at first because of the apple juice. That's okay. It's gonna quickly evaporate. But we want to get these on here so that they can get cooking, and they're going to taste amazing. Now most people like their bacon crispy. I'm a kind of in the middle type person myself, so you just make the bacon the way you want to, but you want to get it on there, you want to get it cooking, because it's going to take a while to cook. And we want to time this dish completely right with our eggs, because our eggs don't take that long to make, so we want to time everything to come out together. And I'm going to explain how we're going to do all that. But we just want to get this on there and get it going so it'll get started. We want to cook it on one side completely. Turn it over. Hopefully you only want to turn this once. And then after you turn it, you're going to want to put your brown sugar on it. I'm going to turn my grill up just a little bit. Now I'm going to get this out of the way here real quick. Get that out of the way. Also, I got some caprese tomatoes that are on the vine that I'm going to put in this little bit of olive oil that I got going with some butter, and then a little bit of seasoning here. And this is just going to be for the side of it. It's just going to be for a little garnish. They're very ripe. They're very sweet. They're a really good tomato to complement the eggs, but we're just going to let them sit there and roast while we're making the rest of the stuff. So I'm going to pause it right here for a minute. And then we're going to be back to finish everything up once I start the eggs, because the eggs are really the star of this dish. But if you take the time, like I said, to do the bacon right, you're really going to like it. We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I forgot to say earlier, if y'all are wondering what I'm doing in my pajamas, I figured since we were doing the morning gig, we'd go ahead and do this. So here's the thing. I've got that bacon where it's going. I've turned it all the way down. Now we're just going to sprinkle some brown sugar on the top of it. Just enough to let that caramelize for a while it's on warm. And it's really going to kick up the flavor of the bacon, and it's going to crisp up while it's just staying on warm. So let's let that caramelize. Now we're going to get started. Now we're going to get started on our eggs. And I've already got them in here. Now these are cold. The butter's cold, and the pan has not been turned on yet. You want to start eggs, 5-star eggs, in a cold pan. That's the only way it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our eggs and we're going to put them in here, like so. Okay, I'm going to put this over in the sink, get this out of the way for now. And we'll get this ready. Now you're going to want this cold butter here that I have, and you're going to want to do, believe it or not, about three good pads of butter. Because it's going to heat up in the eggs and it's going to make it really good. Fat equals flavor. So now we've got that ready, we're going to get started. Now we're going to turn it on, and I'm going to go a little high at first, and then I'll turn it down. But once you get your eggs going, you want to start moving them immediately. You want to start moving them and keep them moving. You're going to take it on the heat, you're going to take it off the heat. But the idea behind these eggs is to really keep them moving. And once they start getting together, you're going to have really creamy eggs. This is going to be different than probably the way you've ever cooked them before, but it's also going to be a lot better. It really is. I was one that was a skeptic on these eggs. I didn't think they would be any different than I thought eggs were eggs. But the first time I made these and I tasted them, I saw what the big deal was all about. So this does take a little bit to do, but like I said, you just want to keep it moving around the pan. Take it off the heat for a minute. Keep them moving. Let that butter cool. The key is to start with cold eggs and cold butter. Never forget that. It has to take time to cook right. I know this seems like a lot of work, but it's going to make a difference, believe me. But the key is to keep taking them on and off of the heat. And just keep moving. My tomatoes back here are just about done. I'm going to turn them off and just let them sit there and just be ready for when I go to plate in a little bit. The butter's starting to melt in there, starting to emulsify a little bit. The key is to keep these eggs moving. Do not let these eggs sit. We're just going to keep them moving. I'm going to take them off the heat again. Believe it or not, eggs will continue to cook off the heat because of the heat in the pan. And put it back on like so. And I'm just going to keep doing this for a minute. I'm going to stop this right here for a second, give these time to catch up a little bit. The key is to keep it moving, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, as you see, I've just been standing here continuing to move these, and they're very creamy now. They're really very creamy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them off the heat completely right now. I'm going to get this butter out of my way so I can do a little work over here. I'm going to go ahead and start my toast for plating. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this off the heat. And as you can see, they're very creamy right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little pepper and a little sea salt. And then we're going to come in with a dollop here of sour cream. And the other stuff, just about that much. Just enough to give it the flavor. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to move that around in there like so. Give it some time for that heat to work it into the eggs. When the sour cream starts to disappear, you just fold it in like that. Now I didn't say that these were the healthiest scrambled eggs you'll ever eat, but they are the ones with really abundance of flavor. But we're not done taking them to Flavor Town just yet. We've still got some things to do. But now that's going to work right there, and look at that. They are really good. They are really ready. Now I'm going to start getting ready to plate this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I want to chop just a little bit of these fresh chives that I bought this morning and get these ready to go here in just a second. There we go. That's good enough. Alright, that's enough. Now I'm going to plate this dish. Now you can do it however you like, but this is the way that I like to plate them. For me, this will be my portion here. We'll put it right over my bread here. And those are so very creamy and tasty. That's probably enough right there. And we'll put that over my bread like so. Then you want to come in with just a little bit of dill right over the top, like so. A little fresh chive, like that. Then I'm going to get my tomatoes over here that have been cooking, and I'm going to put them right there for some nice garnish. And then I'm going to finish this up with just a hint of paprika, and that's more for color. Then I'm going to get my brown sugar bacon here that's really caramelized with the, and it's going to be really, really good. And there you have it. 5-star eggs, caramelized brown sugar bacon kicked up after it's soaked in apple juice with your caprese tomatoes, which are very sweet. That's going to be a breakfast that anybody would enjoy. Now, to kind of give you a little bit of a hint as to what's coming up next after this is over. Next week I'm going to be doing a carbonara, but I'm going to be doing for my sister Pam Morrow and my niece Katie Morrow that live out in Virginia. They're vegetarians, and my sister Tammy as well. And they wanted something that was no meat, so I'm going to do a vegetable carbonara that's going to be really good, and it's going to be done in a white wine sauce over it. Little zucchini, little tomatoes. It's going to be really good. I hope you all will stay tuned for that. I hope you all stay safe. Have a good evening, and God bless.